Alright. The next thing you know, you and Kriya are standing in the fountain. The elf said that the fountain would take us back. You say to Kriya as you scan the fountain pool for a stairway or something. It might take a moment, says Kriya as she studies the statue of the woman with the raised, welcoming arms. Kriya touches the statue fingertips of stone fingertips of one hand. Ah, there is magic in this. Do as you will. Do as you will, and passage will be granted. Comes a deep voice from behind, startling you. Startling you. It must have been the stone face. Oh, says Kriya as she looks over her shoulder to you, her eyes bright with excitement. I've seen this before. The statue is the ward for passage. You must do as your true heart desires. What? You must do as your true heart desires to go through. What does that even mean? Kriya turns completely, now facing you. She backs up from the stone woman's hand. What? She backs up with the stone woman's hand over Kriya's shoulder. She puts her hand on the stone hands. This passageway has completely lost me. I don't understand what is happening. Is the statue moving? Is the statue like grabbing her shoulder? Who is talking to who? What passageway through where? Is it going to be through the dry water, or is it going to be through the woman statue? What is happening here? Neville Scrot, you shout as the stone hand come to life. Okay, it is moving. Still stone-like in color, but moving fluidly and gripping Kriya by her shoulder. You're about to grab Kriya and pull her free, but then suddenly realize that Kriya is actually getting massaged by the statue. What the fuck does that even mean? What? That is random. Kriya smiles and tilts her head up with pleasure. You have strong hands, she murmurs. Who is murmuring that? The statue or Kriya? I'm guessing Kriya. I wager that is true. You whisper to yourself as you watch. You've never liked massages, particularly painful ones. The massage lasts a few more seconds, and the statue let go of Kriya's shoulder, grips her waist, suddenly pulls Kriya into herself. Kriya disappears. Immediately, statue goes back to her earlier position, resumes being motionless statue-like. Your turn. Comes a deep voice from behind. What do you do? That is hilarious. He says, he said, do what your heart desires. So of course I gotta go with cup the statue's breast. Let's go. Know thyself. You know your strengths and weaknesses, and you plan accordingly. Oh, that is funny. Premium bonus, like, okay. Kriya said that you should do what your heart desires, and one of the first things you noticed was the statue's breast. Yes, that is one of the first things we talked about, I think. If you're honest with yourself, you want to cup them. Please do not kill me, you say to the statue as you approach. May I put my hands upon your bosom? How do you pronounce that? Bosom? Yeah, bosom. Okay. The statue says nothing. Rather, it just stares past you as you would expect from a statue. Always ask a lady, you say. They're just so wonderful I want to touch them. I don't know why I always want to touch them. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. As a boy growing up, you have done far worse to public statues, but those were normal statues. This one might have feelings. That's why he's talking about them like, okay, can I do this? You alright with this? He's like, hey, this is a magical statue. Let me just confirm that. Get on with it, shouts the deep voice from behind. Please do not kill me, you repeat as you step forward and put your hands on the statue's large breast. I like the fact that they explained that. At first, they are what you would expect from a statue, hard and cold, although with a comfortable curvature that is naturally pleasing to you. A second pass then the breast soften and warmth spreads through you. Thank you, you whisper, enjoying yourself, yet some part of you is still afraid of death. Oh, so good. The statue's hands fall onto your shoulders. You're pulled into the statue's body with such strength that you wouldn't have a hope of resisting if you wanted to. The next thing you know, you're sitting up in a different fountain, spurting water. It only takes you a moment to recognize where you are. The statue garden where you met Anne. The statue of the fishes you noticed earlier is in the middle. Kriya is standing beside you, submerged up to her knees. Why is she still standing in there? Why didn't she get out already? We took our sweet time, like a minute or two. Water cascading down from her soaked dress. Neville's tongue. You're wet, you say as you get to your feet, your clothes heavy. Why is this fountain wet? Priya blows water from her mouth, wipes her face with her hand, saying nothing. I bet Calac and her pointy-eared lackey use a different drier exit, you say. A pair of women, you'd guess a mother and a daughter, by the look of them, are doing their best not to stare at you while pretending to leisurely walk out of the garden for their own reasons, not because of the two soaking wet people magically appearing in the fountain. Stop complaining, Priya says as she peers out over the garden, frowning at the retreating women. You terribly needed real water for a real rinse. Didn't we take a bath? Why are they all saying I smell bad? That the Anne chick didn't say I smell bad. She didn't even mention anything. She didn't wince her nose. She didn't say anything. These guys are just assholes, is what the case is. Like, I've taken a proper fucking bath. I do remember going and taking a bath and also stealing a bell, but that's besides the point. But I did take a proper fucking bath. There's absolutely no reason why I would be dirty. I mean, I did put my hands into a garbage pile to pull out a bow, but that's besides the point again. I still probably washed it somewhere. So yeah, I don't know what the hell these guys are talking about. Everyone is talking about me taking a bath for some reason, despite the fact that I took one already. Yeah, already. Very well, I'll complain about your unhelpful wizard, or witch, I should say. You say as you step out of the fountain. She was fascinating, says Kriya. Following you onto dry land. Fascinating that your hero is an old witch, or because she's a coward that won't protect her own home, you say. And don't even get me started on that pompous elf. You're plucky, says Egra. Be careful, the old witch might be listening. Such wisdom and power, says Kriya to herself, ignoring you. The pair of women are gone, and you now have the large garden to yourself. You wring out your sleeve. So what now, you say? Let Bonebrow die? No, says Kriya, her finger on her chin, thoughtfully. This is a test. Kalak is testing her. She wishes to see if you can take the initiative and triumph over Thog. Oh, seriously? What is she, a god now? Like, she's treating her like a god. Okay, yeah, the gods are not helping us through this, like, invading army that is taking over our lands, killing our people all over the place, and just like slaughtering our people. But gods are not helping us because this is a test. They want to test us if we can actually do this ourselves. What is this? She became a god to you now? What is this? Oh, this is ridiculous. This is honestly ridiculous. Well, you do you, I suppose. Where were we? What? Oh, there it is. She wishes to see if we take the initiative and triumph over Thog. You laugh as you sit on the fountain wall and pull off a boot to empty the water out. It's no test. She's a coward or just doesn't care. Probably both. Why are we constantly calling her a coward? I don't think she's a coward. I mean, I guess she is, kinda. But not in this sense. I'm talking about the fact that she's hiding her sex because she is that scared. I mean, she's all powerful. Who, even if people say like, oh, it's a woman or whatever, who gives a shit? Stop listening to people. You're a fucking strong person. You know, let's not even talk about you're a male or female. You're just a strong person. Stop listening to fucking weaklings. You know, just move the fuck on. Do your own thing. Anyhow, you laugh as you sit on the... Okay, I've already read all this. Kriya turns to your finger out, stabbing. You don't understand a woman of patience strategy like Kalak. Always, without a thought, you act with this. She says, pointing at your mouth, or this. She says, stabbing towards your crotch. What do you know about the witch? Up until a few minutes ago, we thought she was a young man. You say, throwing up your hands and puffing out your chest. Besides, I get a great deal done with this, you say, pointing at your mouth, and this, you point at your crotch. Do not mistake wisdom for what is actually cruelly callous. It is better to take righteous action, even if reckless, than hide behind concealed door and weasel words. I see. Why are we talking about justice all of a sudden? Just, I think a couple of chapters ago I said this. Let's just pack our fucking bags and go. As soon as Kriya leaves us alone and we are outside of our spell, just fucking book it from the city. Just fuck it. At this point, this is beyond you. You're dying every 2 seconds. Like, even the other guy, this many predicaments didn't show up even with our wizard boy. This is just ridiculous. Kriya stares at you for a long moment, then laughs. Spoken like a true cavalier. You want to confront this high priestess yourself? Well, get to it then. I did not say those exact words. You say, taking a step back. Better take action, even if reckless. Were those not your words? Kriya says. I presume you mean to confront this evil alone, since that would be the most expeditious and reckless means at your disposal. Why are we lowering our voice? This is so easily combated. Like you could have just said, "I'm talking about her, the fucking Kalak." Just say this is all, as simple as this. I am talking about being reckless as Kalak because he is fucking strong, and no one is gonna question her authority. She is fucking strong. She has authority. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She can even secretly assassinate the fucking person. This is just ridiculous that you're even comparing me to Kalak like this. Like it doesn't matter who's the coward, but and who's cautious or whatever. This is like even our character said some ridiculous thing. Rooster is talking about some ridiculous thing, but Kriya is just going ham with this ridiculousness, and he can't combat that for whatever reason, despite the fact that he has so much, like street lingo talk that he knows how to do. But anyhow, no, I was not so specific. You say lowering your voice. Look, you provoke me with your slack-jawed worship of Kalak. People like her run my city back home and are admired without merit. Priya is quiet for a moment, studying you. Finally, she says, I do not slack-jaw worship her. She is simply a powerful wizard. I cannot help but be in awe. Of that. Fucking hell. Imagine if you were to meet, I don't know, some god. I must admit, I'm still not sure what your profession is. Imagine if Kriya is saying this. Imagine if you were to meet, I don't know, some gods. I must admit, some and ... gods. I must admit, I'm still not sure what exactly your profession is. You chuckle as you wring out your other sleeve. As I told you when I first met you, I'm an adventurer and a man of opportunity. Right? Imagine you met the greatest man of opportunity. Okay, huge feathers in his hat, unnecessary jewelry covering him, reclining on a bed of naked women. His bed is made of naked women, alive and happy women, I should hope. And if so, how would that work? Would they lie down to create like a sort of mattress and stop, says Kriya, interrupting you. Won't probably be dead by the time you're done puzzling with daydreams. She sits on the fountain wall beside you and begin taking off her own boot. That clump of brush over yonder promises privacy, you say, pointing at the area of the garden where you and Anne made love earlier. Inside, we could strip these clothes so close to hang and dry out. He gives you a level look. No, you shrug. Well, I suppose there's not really time. There's not really time. Okay, Egra, use your power to dry us, you say. That would require a full transformation, and I shall not waste my father's favor, says Egra. Yeah, that would be a weird request. Why would it require transformation? Okay. The question is, how do we defeat the imposter and do it quickly, says Kriya as she dumps out her boot. Indeed, the last time I saw the imposter, he was surrounded by his guards, his soldiers, you say. We need allies of our own, but we don't know who to trust in this place. Well, Kalak was my choice. I will let you decide this time. She says, nodding at you as though she were a queen granting a boon. Man, she is she is such a fucking bitch. Even in this time, she just has to be a fucking bitch all the fucking time. I hope Sam Landstrom, or whatever his name is, again butchering his name probably, I hope he gives me the option to kill some people, alright? I am definitely killing some motherfuckers if I get the fucking choice. Because in the first game, we did get a choice to kill a lot of fucking people that just pissed us off in general. There were not a people who directly pissed us off, but pretty much everybody who pissed us off, we pretty much got to murk them. Not even if not directly, in some other, supportive fashion, like the dragon that is near the end of the game. There's also the Nerul, everyone who just fucked with us, except for Azazel, I suppose, but that was fine. That was just for story continuation purposes, so I'm not gonna say too much. They at least allow us to have some fun in the first game, but this one is just like I hope they maintain that and give me an option to kill some people. I'm saying, not one person. No, I'm not asking for a choice. I'm asking for the ability to kill some people. Okay, let's see. The Duke, Anne, the Lathian priest, the dwarves. Can I not take anyone? This is impossible. Are you serious? The Lathian priests were firing at us last time we saw them. The Duke is not gonna give a shit. The dwarves is an odd choice. Anne, I don't think, is a fighter. Well, let's go with the dwarves. That's the only option I can see, which is doable, I suppose.